What's up, cowboy? Who's you gonna go?
Best of the
Commander.
best.
We got no reference. What's the plan? GSL. Kaboom, baby! Go.
Alright, look at that crowd. They are all ready for this next match. Sniper is the last man standing. Gumiho takes him out here. It's all over, and MVP will be out. FXOpen will take 2 back-to-back championships. Gumiho without dropping a set in either final match.
Did you see that girl?
Yeah.
She was so angry.
She looked angry, man. She was like, well, you can stare the camera on me all you want, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
I don't know what her boyfriend did, but whatever he did, he better hides. If she finds him, she's gonna kill him.
I think it's Keen, man. That must be Keen's girlfriend.
Yeah, that could actually
She's
be.
like, listen, how many times have I told you to put your barracks a little bit closer to the wall and make sure you get an SCV in there if this
I
scenario
told you to
happens."
scout. I told you 3 times.
She's like, listen, all right, you came up with this builder on this map. It seems pretty obvious. What if he had the same idea? It's a good idea, right? Gumiho's a pretty smart guy. What are you thinking? We talked about this.
She feels underappreciated. I can completely understand her.
Yeah, totally. I get why she's angry now.
Yeah.
In fact, Keen's probably out buying her some chocolate at this point.
And he should. Well, Gumiho and Sniper, I hope that they listen to their girlfriends. If they didn't,
Now, you can see a differentiation in the style here. We've got Towel versus Hot Pack.
and I forgot again to get me a hot pack.
Yeah, you did. You can use mine if you want. It got a little bit warm though. It looks a little bit.
That looks, yeah, I think I'll pass.
It looks like a spider egg cocoon or something.
It looks like it's pretty contagious. I'm already sick, well, thanks. I don't need that.
Yeah,
Whatever that is.
it's falling apart a little bit here, but
I'll get another one later.
we'll see if MVP can hold it together and not fall apart. It's time for Sniper, the GSL Code S champion, to take on the Nine-Tailed Fox here at the GSTL Season 3 of 2012 Grand Finals, cast by Caldor and Wolf.
The GSL champion starts to the bottom right of the map in the GSTL finals. We have the Zerg player, the 3rd Zerg player of the day for Team MVP. It is, of course,
MVP, Sniper!
ready to snipe his opponent.
GSL Season 5 Code S champion of 2012.
Champion.
Yeah, he's a champion. But, oh, we totally botched that. His opponent to the top right. He is the Towel Terran, the master of GSTL Finals. He is...
FXO, Gumiho!
I just met Lucky in the bathroom. In every break, I somehow meet Lucky in the bathroom.
Yeah?
And
You guys are like bathroom buddies.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did I not get invited to this bathroom party?
Nah, not today. Next
Okay.
time, sorry.
So
It was already full, you know, the bathroom here is pretty small.
you've
so.
discovered the fun of bathroom parties, I see.
It wasn't really a bathroom party, I just met him in the bathroom. Okay, I want to make a point here.
Okay.
I actually asked him about the next few games, and he says he thinks that for Gumiho it's going to be really, really difficult, especially on this map, to take down Sniper. He feels like Gumiho can do it, but he doesn't really think it's going to happen. Wait a second. Make
We've
him
got a
throw
lot
the
of
towel.
There's like so many
was
things
too
that I
much.
wanted to read all of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pause on the VOD and check it out.
I have to check that out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, long story short, Lucky actually thinks that Gumiho might not be able to defeat Sniper here, but he thinks that even though Lenok lost in the quarterfinal of the GSL season, of the Code S season against Sniper, that if it comes down to a best of 3 today on Cloud Kingdom, the last map of the GSTL finals here, Lenok is gonna take it. So, if Lucky's prediction is right, we will have a 5-4 for Team FXO.
Yeah, that's some good insight. These are the kind of talks you can have at bathroom parties.
It's not a party, man.
I saw you guys drinking coffee in there
What?
at the sink, and I know you guys are having a bathroom party. It's totally fine. You can admit it.
Nah.
By the way, we have a very quick gas coming out for Gumiho after his command center
Yep.
first. And the same can be said of Sniper, who got a very fast gas. In fact, he may be putting on some aggression on this map. He's already seen his opponent's location and build order of choice. That's something Gumiho cannot say, though. Well, if he sees the Overlord, which he hasn't done yet, he'll know exactly where his opponent's spawn, but he needs to check for that first.
This map is huge, and you have a lot of wide open space that a Zerg player can perfectly use for run-by attempts, for flanks, for all these things that you want to do. But you can also just put on aggression and play a really aggressive build, and currently speed is already being researched. We have him still with one drone in gas, only one though, getting a little bit of additional gas, and he could just go for, let's say, some roach bailing aggression.
Yeah.
That's a build that you see all the time or every now and then. There was a time where you had it like in basically every Terran versus Zerg, but these days it's still a very strong build depending on what your opponent opens with. And so far it might be the map where your sniper's like, okay, you probably don't expect me to go for a roach bailing attack, so I'm just trying.
Yeah, you're so right, and considering that he's seen Gumiho's gone command center first, and he knows that Gumiho has not scouted him, and that if he wants to, he can actually stop this SCP from scouting right now. If he actually gets this SCP, which he's trying to do, and shuts down Gumiho's scouting, then Gumiho will have no way to prepare for this. But back at home, he has pulled out a gas, he puts one back in, he could still do it, but it's looking less and less likely as time goes on here.
These are 25 harvesters, and usually what you try to do is you drop the roach drone at like 36. Trying to sneak in with the Zergling first, getting some scouting information, which also did it nice for a few seconds, the swap with the barracks in the factory.
He saw the reactor there, and he also started 8 drones after that, so it looks like if he's going to do it, he's going to do it right after the 6 drones finish, but I don't think he will. He hasn't put anything back in gas, and it looks like he's just going to send a drone to that third base instead.
I don't think the is going to do it either, because he knows already there is one factory up, there is everything that his opponent needs to go into Marauders, to go into Siege Tanks as well, so it would be a little bit too risky at this point. The third base is something that he does not know about though, and I'm not talking about Gumiho here, I'm talking about Sniper, who has no clue that there is another command center hidden in the main base.
Meanwhile, Gumiho doesn't know where his opponent's spawning location is. He tried to send an SCV around. He knows it's not to the top left, but that's all he knows. He hasn't been able to get anything to the bottom left, and he may try to send his Hellions down to the south now. He's got a 50-50 chance of being right here. But, you know, when you don't scout this late, you find yourself a little bit in the dark, and he is actually going to scout the correct location.
Gumiho already has the second factory up, and there comes the Blue Flame upgrade for the Hellions, and there are quite a lot of them. A lot of defense, 7 Zerglings, that's all.
Certainly not a lot of defense here.
He doesn't want to commit with the first few Hellions, that's not enough, but he will commit later on. He will get a higher Hellion count, and as soon as the Blue Flame upgrade hits, if he's able to get in here, that would be devastating for a Sniper. Sniper has to be really careful. He doesn't have a Mailing Nest, he doesn't have a Roach one.
Yeah, that's the MVO, by the way, at the top there. That's the most valuable Overlord. It's been able to see everything, and Gumiho doesn't know it's there, so he thinks he's hiding his Hellions, and that he's not going to see them. But not only was he able to scout the command center first, now he can see how many Hellions are being made. He's totally in the know here. And surprisingly, he has not started a Spinecrawler.
Bailing Nest.
Yeah, he's going to Bailing Nest, but okay, now the Spinecrawlers get started. I was going to say, he's going to need at least 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, builds 2 Spinecrawlers, he knows that he's going to need them, and also in a really good position. He sees that the Hellions are moving out, so he should just try, maybe even just drop another Evolution Chamber.
Yeah, I think he's just going to keep, he's going to not even make any workers at that third base. He's going to hang out here. The Hellion sees there's a Queen. I think the Evolution Chamber is starting to seem like a great idea right now. He doesn't have a lot of transfuse energy. Uh-oh.
Don't let him in. You don't want to let him in. The Spinecrawlers aren't ready yet. The first Queen is already dead. The Zerglings are streaming in, trying to close the gap.
And he gets inside.
And those Spinecrawlers didn't do anything. The ramp isn't blocked either. And suddenly, Sniper has to deal with a lot of Blue Flame Hellions in the middle of his base.
The Ninetail Fox got in with 9 Hellions, and they are going to town here. He actually has taken out so many drones already. He needs to do a little bit more with this, though. He's not chasing.
He's not chasing properly, and he takes on a lot of links, but that's not what you want to do. You want to trade for drones. That's the big thing. And he only killed 7 so far, and 7 is just not enough.
Yeah, he's still got the opportunity to get more, but he needs to micro here. Now he's going to...
No, just simply no.
He can't... That was a bit strange. He's going into mech, obviously, behind this, by the way, getting double factories. He's got the engineering bay out for Muta defense, but a third base now is still not going to be able to be mined from, but the damage could have been astoundingly worse. These drones are going to go down, sorry.
Yeah. That was a very, very short life that they had.
That's when the Queen's like, those drones should never been born. She's thinking about it, and she's like, well, I should have waited a bit too soon.
That was
make those drones, and now the Hellions took them out. Now the Hellions still give them a little bit of map control.
That was definitely a really... I don't know, I expected him to do so much more damage when I saw the Hellions stream in there. He had so many Hellions in the main base, he could have split them, you know? Just split them, put a few of them to the left, the rest to the right, and then try to chase those drones down. He could have killed a ton of them. He only took down 7, and that's not enough.
He's going to get a few more, potentially. No, Spinecrawler scares him away. But yeah, you're so right. Now the Hellions are actually caught here.
I mean, not to take anything away from GOMTV, he still did a lot of damage against those Zerglings, but you want to kill the Harvesters if possible. If you just look at the resources lost, they're both at exactly the same level. It's just GOMTV's macro that really comes through for him here.
His economy is what's really going for him right now. He's got 3 bases up, whereas...
He gets his 4th already, you know, the 4th command center is being built. He has siege tanks now being built as well. The siege mode is all done 1/3, and it's a good position for GOMTV after all. If you go mech and you are ahead in supply, the Zerg player with 40.
If you get that 3rd base for free, you know, that's when things get out of control, and he's also been able to put so much pressure on. Yeah, he didn't trade the best, he didn't kill as many workers as he wanted to, but he kept no mining at the 3rd, and now the Spire is coming out, but they're already Thors. He's already got +1 for his Thors. He's got +2 coming out, even plating coming down now. He's getting 2 more factories. His economy is allowing him to power like an insane person.
Right now, the macro for GOMTV is completely shining through. He is 40 supply ahead, and he left Sniper no opening. Nothing. Sniper defended against these Hellion run guys, and not too many drones were killed, but there was just no opening that he could use. There was just nothing. We have the siege tanks already in position, so what are you going to do? Try to run in with roaches and do a bit of a timing? No, that's way too late. He already has everything set up that he needs in order to shut you down.
He's going for Hive, and it looks like he wants to try to use Broodlords to give him a little bit of map control against the mech army, and he needs to take risks like taking a 4th base, which he's going to take right now. Surprisingly at the normal location rather than trying to take a hidden 4th. The thing is, if you take a hidden 4th and Hellions find that you can't defend it, you're going to lose every drone there. But if you take this 4th, can you defend that? He needs to spread his creep a little bit further over there, and I think he's going to need to keep some roaches and or spine crawlers. And look at this. Heavy turrets going down just to be safe. That's actually 4 missile turrets he's making right there at the front of his base.
And we have another base now coming up for Sniper, but here come a few roaches and Zerglings, but they don't do anything.
Yeah, he can't find an opening. The second wave of Hellions is going to go right to the base I was talking about before. He checks it. And he actually could force a cancel on it. Doesn't look like he realizes just yet. This actually gives enough time for the roaches to come and defend now.
The Greater Spire is now on his way, and this is of course the one thing that Sniper wants to head for. He knows fully well that he has to go for the late game, that he can't use timing before that. Few more drones get being picked off, and now in total 12 have been killed.
This is the money timing, though, that GOMTV is hitting right now.
Right before the Broodlords.
Absolutely, right before the Broodlords, and you know he's going to have enough units where he can actually fight this number of roaches. There are going to be about 35 roaches out in total, but with all the splash damage from the Hellions and the siege tanks, he should be able to fight the Infestors, though. If they isolate the Hellions, which he does, this could be great for Sniper. He needs to make sure he can save those Infestors, though. They are his lifeline.
More Hellions are being built for the time. Also 5 additional siege tanks, a sick mech production for GOMTV. He's at 200 supply against 170. Broodlords are nowhere to be seen. The Greater Spire still not done. And GOMTV is trying to get into position, even taking a 4th base while he does, though.
Yeah, and another roach run spotted by Hellions. He's actually just going to be able to fight this with siege tanks and crush it if he wants to. Doesn't even have to go into siege mode. A flank here comes in, though, and this is exactly what Sniper needs to do. But does he have enough DPS? It just doesn't look like it.
No, it really doesn't. He's already dropping down to 120 supply. It looks like GOMTV might have done it again, Wolf. Maybe he's able to claim the 2nd GSTL win this year for Team FXO. The Roaches have been defeated. The last Thor, it dies.
Oh, and there's a Hellion run by at the 3rd base. He's losing so much here. He pulls most harvests away, but he lost so much as well. Now the Roaches come over to defend, but he's got nothing at the natural. And it looks like GOMTV is actually just going to come in here and finish the job.
The Roaches pop out in the last second and make sure that the Hellions for a few moments have to retreat. But this is now GOMTV going crazy. He still has the bank. He has the production. He's at 180 supply. Sniper is reinforcing. He can't get any Broodlords. He just can't.
Yep, not gonna happen.
but he's able to force Gumiho back, at least for now.
At least for now, indeed. Gumiho needs to keep his army all together. That's what those siege tanks at the back there are for. Imagine if they had been together with his army during that fight, he would not have had any problem.
64 drones against 83 SCVs. The economy is so much better for Gumiho, not even counting the mules here. Plus 3 attack already on the production tab, and we have double Thor production. Those units are caught in the middle of 2 Terran forces that they just can't beat.
They cannot beat him, and now his roaches are running. Who knows where they're going to end up, but I gotta say they're not going the right way. They want to go back home where you can actually gather all his forces together to wait for those Broodlords. Another scan goes off here. He's taking out all the creep in the middle of the map. This eliminates further Sniper's ability to move on the map. He's got a small group of roaches, but there's enough at home for Gumiho to defend.
And Gumiho doesn't miss anything here. He still has a bank and he's using it to get additional command centers now. He wants to have those extra bases, wants to have the better economy. He's spanning out his units, intercepting all these roaches, trying to push them into a corner to pick them off one by one. And he's just chasing down these small forces of Sniper.
Yeah, he's just zoning so well. It's like, no matter where you go with those roaches, Gumiho is going to find you, he's going to kill you, he's going to chase you to the ends of the earth.
The only thing that I'm missing is actually a couple of stopboards here, just to be on the safe side, if at some point Sniper gets his Broodlords out.
He's got the bank for it, so he definitely should be starting some of those, I agree. But will the game even come to that? That's what we're about to find out. The tanks here in position. It's only going to take a few volleys to take out that hatchery.
Gumiho certainly doesn't think that it will come to that point.
Yeah.
He's moving in with those Hellions once again, and well, Zerglings are just not the answer.
Yeah, they're certainly not, but that's all he can really afford. He's so low on economy right now. His worker count down to 64. Gumiho hovering at 84. He doesn't even siege up most of his tanks. He wants to have the more mobile army. The Broodlords are ready, but they're too late. Where are their supports?
There are only 4 Broodlords, and now 3 starports are being built. Gumiho spotted the Broodlords. He builds 3 starports at a time, but those siege tanks, they still do damage. They try to move in and do as much as possible before they go down.
Yeah, he's actually got a few tanks that can go and try to snipe a hatchery. Otherwise, the Thor may take out one Broodlord, and it looks like the drones here will escape for now. That was a very close call, though, with how close they were to the Hellions. Those tanks I was talking about earlier, getting dangerously close to that hatch. He sieges them up.
He tries to take down this hatch, and if he's able to kill another base of Sniper, then suddenly the MVP player is down to 2 bases, and one of them isn't even mining. The main base is nearly out of minerals.
It looks like he will save the hatchery, but the same could not be said for the drones. He killed all but 3 drones, so even if the hatchery lives, it doesn't really matter because he can kill it later. There's nothing really mining from there.
3 Vikings now built at the same time with 3 starports. He does not have the gas to produce more, but he builds 5 Thors as well. And with such a Thor count, he can take it down. There are 3 Thors already in the game, now trying to take down the Broodlords.
Yeah, and he's not going to be able to take these Broodlords out, but he can't stop the tanks from killing the hatchery to the left side. So even though the Broodlords will win this fight, they will not win the war with all the Vikings coming out. He's got +1. 4 his ship weapons coming through as well.
Sniper is on half the supply, and he can't deal with everything that is going on now on the map. We have unit after unit being sent over to another base of Sniper by Gumiho. Takes them down, and at the same time the Broodlords are dealing with the Thors, are trying to. But Sniper is now down to 95 supply, and I can tell you one thing, guys. The MVP bench does not look happy at all.
It looks full of size right now, whereas every face on the FXO bench has a smile. Look at that army. He's pulling the SCVs with this. He wants to use mules instead, but also this is going to give him a great ability to repair some of his units.
The SCVs are now in, and this is definitely the moment where we see that Gumiho wants to get more army supply, but also this will help him to repair his units when they are attacked, as Wolf already pointed out. Now the Vikings are also joining the battle, and there's nearly no income left for Sniper.
He can't even kill those 3 Vikings. Those 3 Vikings alone, plus some Thor support, will be able to take out all of the Broodlords.
The Broodlords are dying one by one, and so do the hopes of Team MVP to win the GSTL Finals Season 3 2012. It looks like FXOpen has done it.
Manor CCs! He's trying to deny them, but there it is! GG! Gumiho 8-0 in GSTL Finals this year. He does not take a single loss, and that's it. FXOpen will seal the deal, taking 2 GSTL Finals back-to-back here.
That's crazy. That's really, really crazy. They won the 2nd season, and now they won the 3rd. Here comes Choya. Gumiho, he did it again. He was too strong for Slayers, and he's also too strong for MVP.
Oh man, this was a great season for FXOpen. You know, always having the great player picks, I feel, is really their strength. They've got two core players, Gumiho and Leenock. Today, Leenock was not even needed. Gotta love those hats as well. And would you say Gumiho is the MVP?
Yeah, he definitely is. I'm always afraid, by the way, when nerds throw nerds into the air, I always feel that one of them is going to mess up and the head is going to hit bottom.
Yeah, I always get a little bit worried about this as well. If I were Choi, I'd be like, well, thank you, man, but can we stop? They like just put him on the ground. They don't even let him stand up properly. Well, very happy team here, and happiness well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved. Great play today. Leenock did not even have to come out for his team. We had a bit of ping pong battle up to the 3-3 score, and then it was time for Gumiho, and he defeated them all. Monster, Keen, and Sniper, all three of them. Great performance here by Gumiho and by Team FXO.
It's time to ask Choya how he feels about his victory here.
Congratulations once again.
And there is that prize money check. 30 million won, nearly 30,000 USD. And
that's a lot of kimchi.
That is a lot of kimchi, man. If you want to put that into kimchi, you can probably live off of that for about 10 years or more. And of course, Gumiho holding the check as he is MVP. And it's time to lift the flag as Choya is the coach of the champions for this season. Championship flag is being waved. We have Sparkles in the studio. And you could just see on their faces how happy they are. The crowd is even speechless for them.
And every time they got so close, you know, in the first season they nearly made it to Las Vegas. It was so close. Then in the second season they were like, no, this time we will do it. They went to Busan, they took the title, and in the third season they do it again, back to back. This is kind of amazing. I mean, I never really thought they were able to pull it off. It just sounded like Gumiho
twice in a row, no losses, 8-0, and now Choya gets the second GSTL pin, and he will be wearing that whenever you see him around. Look at that. He wants to get his third pin, of course, next season, and I would not be surprised if they did it. This team is by far, in this format, the most dominant right now.
Yeah, they definitely are. And if you just look at the player lineup, it's not the team that you would pick. But well, here's Choya, and he says that Gumiho is doing just so well in the finals. He has 8 straight wins now. He's been an ace for the team, and Leenock is doing very well in Team League, of course, as well for Team FXO. He's very thankful to both of them, even though Leenock did not have to come out today. He was, of course, the last player for the team. He's also really thankful to all of the players who practiced very, very hard, especially for the Team League. And this is not the end. They will continue to challenge and to become the champion once again in the next season.
And that's a great goal to have, considering how well they've been doing this year. Next year, maybe the year of FXO as well, man. Some of these players are about to break out individual league. I can just feel it.
괜찮습니다. 그럴
수도
있죠.
A little bit shy here.
우리 또 2연속 본인의 손으로 우승으로 이끈 고병재 선수도 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 야, 진짜 GSTL에서
Gumiho is of course announced as the MVP. Everybody knew that already, though.
멋진 모습을 계속해서 보여주고 있는데 소감이 어떠십니까?
How do you feel?
Cold, I would say, in that shirt.
I lost a lot during practice, and actually I expected to lose one of the sets in this league. I'm very surprised I was able to win 3 matches in a row today.
자, 마지막 경기 정말 멋지게 승리로 장식을 했는데 어떤 순간에 우승을, 승리를 직감하셨습니까?
지옥불 함차 들어갔을 때부터 질 수 없다고 생각하고 게임했어요. 그때부터 이미
When my Hellions came into the main base.
좋습니다. 고병재 선수 정말 멋진 플레이 감사합니다. 그리고 이렇게 FX 오픈이 우승하기까지는 멋진 상대가 있었기에 가능하지 않았겠습니까? 우리 멋진 경기를 보여준 MVP 팀과 우리 감독께도 여러분들 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 네, 너무나 멋진 경기
That's why he only
감사합니다.
killed 7. Yeah.
자,
I guess
이렇게
that's
해서
why he was so focused on
2012
how to build the
핫식스
command centers.
GSTL 시즌 3 결승 우승은 FX 오픈으로 마무리를 짓게 됐습니다. 올 한해 정말 대단한 선수들, 대단한 팀들이
And that
열전을
is going
벌인
to do it
끝에
for this
이렇게
season.
마무리를 짓게
30
됐는데요.
million won on that
저희는
check. It all
내년에도
goes to Team FXO. A great season by them, a great performance. MVP did well also, but at the end of the day, they were not able to conquer the Nine-Tailed Fox.
Yeah, Gumiho being too strong for Team MVP. Monster, Keen, and Sniper, they tried, but they could not win. They weren't even able to get Leenock to play. A great match that we've seen today. Very close as expected. In the end, it is FXO who wins with a 5-3 score and takes another title at the GSTL finals.
Yep, and that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you, of course, next time. Code A is coming up. We will have GSTL again in 2013, so don't be scared, don't fret. It'll be announced very soon. See you guys again.